Let's talk about Kylie.
Oh yeah.
So were you?
Hold on.
Personality change, go.
And they always want to call me Belinda and stuff like that. I'm like, you don't want to fuck with Belinda. I do not want a piece of Belinda because she might hate fuck you.
When did you move to the States then? Was it when you were very young?
Yeah.
I thought, like, did
Google my
you sneak
age or
into
something.
America without anyone knowing or something? It looked like you were like,
Probably could back then.
Married twice.
What?
3 times I've been married.
Like, I'm a little bit of a tomboy.
Yeah. Same.
I find it hard with clients to like not act like a tomboy, like not act like a bro sometimes.
you finish having sex, you're like, well done, team.
I look cute with this little hat, actually. I think this is going to be... I feel like I look like I'm going to like Disneyland.
When you were outside, that's what I was thinking. We're going to an amusement park.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you just need some ears on there.
Yeah, I had PT this morning and my PT was like, what are you wearing? You can't see it, guys, on the YouTube, but I'm wearing like tiny little pink booty shorts. I'm in my like retro gym era right
Legit.
now, I think.
Yeah, I love that look.
I think you need like a little backpack or something to go with it.
A little Dora the Explorer backpack.
You remind me of
I know, guys. So Mark and I are in a matching hat. So those of you that are watching on YouTube, yeah, Mark's hiding his face
Sorry,
right now.
you're all right.
Those of
Just
you that are
fixing
watching
audio.
on YouTube, Mark and I are in matching hats now, and no, it's not because I'm balding as well.
Yes, it is. She's balding. She said it before we went on air, but she's wearing a hat just like
I
me.
had a laser. You know what is really funny is I had a laser facial this week, and I've been going out wearing like a hat and sunglasses, and everyone looks at you like you're a celebrity when you're wearing sunglasses inside.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into it. I might just start doing like keeping the hats and sunnies inside.
Yeah,
It's making me feel really. But everyone's looking at it like, who is this girl? Like
not
hiding who
abnormal.
she is.
Because a lot of people don't like people looking in their eyes. That's why in LA.
I've been checking
that an
people.
American thing?
That's
Yes,
why. Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
checking people out like with my sunnies on because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this hot guy can't see me like looking at. Checking
She
him
does
out.
it so she can perfect all the hookups.
Yeah, I get it now. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Kat and Mark Show. This episode is brought to you by Raven Management. Raven Management specializes in accounting and financial services for the adult industry.
Didn't know that.
Belinda, thank you for coming on. So we have Belinda Gavin on now. For those of you who don't know who Belinda is, she was a big part of Sexpo. Rest in peace. Thank you for coming on.
That's okay. Thank you guys. I'm so excited.
Yeah, this
It's
is
been
really
a while. And like I was just saying to you guys, I've kind of had my head in the sand, and this is kind of coming back and, hey, what's going on? And there's a lot going on. So I'm like, okay, back to work. Let's see what's going on out there.
So what is back to work for you? Because I feel like when I was looking up all the things you did, there was like bull riding, there was modeling, you're an actress, you've done everything. So what is work for you right now?
Well, I think that was part of the time off. I still don't know at this point. You know, it's a big... I stepped away from full-time work with Sexpo last year, April, actually. I was still contracting with them and working with them, obviously, really a lot on the shows. But to be honest, and I'm not going to cry, but I was thinking about it on the way over here, is like when it ended, and it was just as sudden for me as it was for everyone else. I was the last person to know, to be honest.
Really?
I didn't realize at the time, but I really got depressed because it was too.
I think
massive
everyone
show.
in the industry got like felt it real hard.
I could understand other people getting depressed, but I didn't expect it from myself. You know, I was just like, oh, I'm on with the show. I was already doing my own thing with Kylie. So I'd gone kind of full time escorting with her, which I was really enjoying. You know, I was being managed by Seb, and that was fantastic, and we had a great time. So I had something that I was doing that was great, and I was like, it didn't bother me. But after awards, which was a big show for me as well, I went on a cruise, which was great fun, but just kind of into Christmas, and I was like, oh wow, yeah, that was a bad final thing. Like, you know, I mean, it's a bad thing, and I was like, wow, this is we need to do something because the community needs a show. Like
Sexpo was a big part of the social calendar for the industry, and because it was so spread out. So Mark actually never made it to a Sexpo because he was always like overseas.
Oh, God.
Whenever there was a but to be honest, I think I complained to you or someone, and I said, stop doing Sexpo in July.
Yep,
everyone is in Europe in Sydney in July. No one
Yeah.
is in Sydney in July because everyone in Sydney summer's in Europe in July.
Yeah.
I'm now officially a summer in Europe
Well,
now
hey,
again. Yeah, I know.
You may, you know,
Oh, okay.
not that I have any insight, but there's whispers. But yeah,
Okay. Outside of our summer.
Yeah.
yeah,
Good
which
to
is
know.
exciting. That's why I guess, I mean, it's all quite serendipitous that I'm here because I asked you guys ages ago, and I just happened to be here for like my cousin's wedding, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I've been like that with media because with Sexpo, I was like always, I'm quite potty mouthed, open. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of secrets, but sometimes when you work for another company, that's not always the best way. So now that I'm like, nah, I'm my own representative, you know, I have my own company,
Yeah.
Raging Bull, that's doing the events, like they can contract me, yeah, for sure. But I can kind of say what I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have your own events company now.
Essentially, I want to do a lot of stuff out of there. I actually saw Renan, who was part of Sexpo for a long time, while I was in Sydney here, and he is going to help me with my website. So I got as far as I can go. I'm like, okay, that's all I can do with Wix.
Yep.
So he's going to help me with stuff, and I'll just kind of put things in there. I have some online courses that I've been writing since COVID,
interesting.
to be honest.
What are
For
the
what?
courses on?
Like self-help, you know, being bold and being proud and being loud and not being scared of that. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of women are scared of it, and so we should be. You know, we're
Scared of what?
their inner power. You know what I mean? Like really being their true selves. And sometimes they don't even know what it is. And it's like getting beyond all of that. So it's things like that. And also finances, I think, for women, not just for women, but for everyone is a big, huge thing.
Especially in this industry, I think. So yeah, the first thing that you were saying, like, yeah, women being scared, I definitely resonate with that. I mean, Mark knew me when I was still an accountant, and I was always different to other people that I worked with, right? So I always knew that wasn't for me. But yeah, I grew up in a very conventional, traditional family, and I was like, I guess, scared of backlash to like be who I want to be. Not like, I don't know, I wouldn't say that I was born as an escort.
Right.
But it was just that I was never somebody that like was into the conventional stuff, right?
Exactly.
And the second part, so finance and stuff, like, oh my God. Yeah, so it grinds my gears when like, you know, girls will like ask me, because I used to be an accountant, and I don't know if you know that, but a lot of people that watch your show know that I used to be an accountant. I get asked a lot of questions
Yeah, I love that.
about finance from girls in the industry. And yeah, the lack of understanding makes me want to cry.
I'm not
sometimes.
really good, but I've learned, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have made it my point. And Raven, thank you guys, been there to help me.
Oh, you're with Raven too.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the people that
Yeah,
come
he's
on the
amazing.
show are with Raven.
Yeah.
So everyone that's listening, please,
That's
this is
the
your
sponsor.
sign.
Yeah.
If every other episode that we've done this season wasn't your sign, this is your sign to give
Yeah.
Raven a call. Make sure you drop my name. Maybe they'll be extra nice to you.
I had another mentor that helped me just do the general stuff, you know what I mean? But I have an apartment on the Gold Coast now. My dad helped me with that. He lives up there. So the whole purpose from leaving Sexpo was to spend more time with dad and to have more time to myself. You know, I'd put on weight. My world was the show, and it's my fault. I never blame anyone else, but it was, I couldn't, the penny dropped one day when my dad called me at work, and he goes, I know I'm not supposed to call you at work, and I was like, what? Push. Like, what are you doing? Your dad can't call you at work. I was like, whoa.
Oh, gosh.
And Kevin, you know, the CEO of Sexpo, had been very, very kind all the time with me and dad, because dad had not been well the whole time I'd been working there.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, this has to change.
Yeah.
And
That was your moment.
that took me a while to kind of unwind, because I loved my job. But yeah, I was
What did you actually do at Sexpo? I know you did like coordinating, but like, I don't know, like, I'm sure you did more than probably just like coordinating.
So Kevin hired me from the Candy Shop Mansion, which is
Oh
where
my God.
I was the event manager there. For
I went
4
to one
years.
of those parties.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about the show way back in the day.
Yeah, I went to
So
one
I helped
when I was
organize
like,
those debaucherous parties.
There you go,
yeah,
that was you,
I was like 21.
Travis as well. I mean, yeah, Trav's the bomb. Trav and I have been friends for like 35 years.
Right.
That's so funny.
I was hired as head of operations for his company.
Are those parties still happening?
Nah, he's like
He's old now,
I went to his New Year's Eve party, but it was just family and friends, really.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes
More chill.
in summertime he'll get a little
Crazy.
oh yeah, let's have a party. You know,
Yeah.
it's like 50 people, but
Okay.
maybe he's selling the mansion, so maybe I think he should have.
It was a
one more
nice
thing.
house.
Final party.
Final, but I don't. I don't think he had a new baby.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think we ticked that box.
Yeah.
He's ready to move on to other things. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a great family.
It was
so.
a good party.
Great parties. But yeah, that's where Kevin got me from, basically.
Right, yeah, because you helped organize those parties and then
it was
helped
kind
organize
of winding
Sexpo.
down with Trav, and I came down here, and he hired me as head of operations first. But then when they realized the size and I guess of Sexpo, it was quite different to the tattoo expo that they had been doing. I can deal with chaos, so I just kind of jumped right in, did whatever we needed to do. Event manager was kind of my next. I had a lot of titles there. So event manager.
Event manager, coordinator.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
everything.
I mean, it was huge. We organized my work husband, which that's what, as I was coming over here, I was thinking, yeah, I mean, I broke up with my work husband, Adam, who we did everything basically together when you're there. We read each other's minds. It was him and I, you know, and then we'd have, you know, like Luke was helping us with the sex ed stage. The Men of Dreams and Girls of Dreams, you know, managed their areas pretty well, but I worked on the entertainment and the creators, as you guys knew, and did all that scheduling. And yeah, I mean, my schedule was like, I think I printed it out once and it was, you know, 4 pages that way. It had to go that way because it's 5 stages and then the 2 or 3, you know, content places as well. Yeah, it was a great show. You know, I think, really, it was coming along really well, and unfortunately, I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know all the ins and outs, but when 2 partners don't agree on things, it's the demise, I think, and that's
what happened.
So are we allowed to talk about what's next for the industry in terms of events?
So funnily enough, I put a call in on the way over here too. I have been approached, and thank you, Luke Scoos, to...
Yeah, because we had Luke Scoos on, who was, you know,
some
talking a little bit about stuff.
Amazing people, like these guys know expos, so I was really impressed. I'm not sure how public they are just yet. I know that they do have a show booked, and
Oh, it's booked.
It's booked.
Do we have a date? Are we allowed to share the dates?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's the end of November.
Okay.
I mean, I like Thanksgiving. That's how I think of it. You know what I mean?
Make sure tell us off air.
Yeah, I will. I know
Give
that
us the
everybody's-
juicy details off air.
I know
Sorry,
that
guys.
everybody's dying and they're ready.
We are so dying. You know, I spoke about this on a previous episode. I had like a $2,000 outfit made for Sexpo
So
that
we
then
still-
Sexpo got cancelled, and
So
I
you
have this
still have
outfit.
it? Awesome.
I got an outfit
That's how I
custom
feel.
made.
And it took me a long time to like think about if I wanted to go back to it. And that's what I kind of had PTSD, and I was like, wow, you know. So I told these guys what I didn't want to do, and then I'm like, okay. But the rest I can kind of do. Yeah.
So it is happening, definitely.
With or without me, yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
believe that was kind of their. I mean, you know, they know a lot about shows, but they don't bring. I have probably 30 years of experience in the adult industry in America and in Australia now. So, and multi-world winning here in Australia.
Let's go.
So, yeah, and I lived and breathed it, you guys, for 4 years. It was like...
Yeah, everything.
I couldn't... Yeah, I'm a bit of a helicopter, so I can't... Everyone, if they're in events, they know, you know, you can't think about anything else. I'm like, okay, tick that box. I'm like, did we do that? 6 o'clock in the morning, you're like, okay, yeah, check, double check.
It just doesn't stop.
Okay, is it over?
Yeah. So now this time going forward, you want to make sure that you're containing some of that workload a little bit, it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just me. So I've mentioned to, you know, my team, and getting the band back together. It would be, I would be like, I'm just still like, oh my God.
Awesome.
And I think, the industry really needs it, and it needs, it needs support. You know, it's a massive industry, the adult industry, and in Australia, it's still just growing and rapidly, but it definitely needs a show, you know, and for somewhere for not just the retailers, not just the creators and the stars, but the people.
Well,
the people
people want
to be experience.
The people want to connect. Like a lot of people want to connect with. Because
Exactly.
So the sex industry has grown into like we're all celebrities now. Like,
exactly.
Which it's nice to see just in the last few years that we're, you know, sex workers are influencers, they're celebrities. These are like, you know, stars that have fans now.
Yeah.
So like I remember even like, you know, when Sexpo was around, like people were coming to see the porn stars or the escorts or the strippers that they liked.
And I'm not sure how to put this properly, but you know, we love having an international star, and it's always been amazing. You know what I mean? But sometimes I was always like, let's just use our Australian stars. Let's just use our Australian stars. You know what I mean? And I wasn't there to do the full figures, but I'm not sure how much people missed out on having this massive star. Although obviously everyone loves it, but I think that the Australian caliber of talent can hold a show.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, we've got enough like very famous sex workers in Australia now.
And there's always people here that are touring, or you know, that like Coco, that are living here now, that add an international flavor.
That's exactly right.
So yeah. That's what my opinion's been from the while. You know, it's just hard when you've got such a big show to remove something that's such a huge big deal. And you will always get haters, and people are never happy. So it's like you kind of just have to like blend the show how you see it or want it, you know. And that's what I believe, that these people they have a passion for it, and that was what Kevin had. And you know, he was really passionate about the sex industry and about, you know, he recreated it, remember, so much better than that was years ago. And you know, I think now is a chance to take it even a step further, and these guys have that kind of vision. So that's what I'm excited about, is to, you know, okay, now it's another generation of sex bars, or you know, sex expos, lifestyle shows, which entertainment is obviously very important there as well. So yeah, we've had some great Australian talent, and you know, at Sexpo we had Babylon. I mean, there was no going back from there. That was amazing. Yeah, I'm like, oh, if we could all just have Babylon again.
If you could, moving forward, if you could have your dream set up exactly what you wanted, would there be a big change you would have, like from the old Sexpo to what you'd have now?
It's a great question, right? Not really. No. In the end, you know, we tweaked it. Between Adam, Kevin, me, and everyone else, the whole team that worked on the show. The only thing, we needed to sell more tickets, maybe, and I mean, the show was amazing. It ran really well, you know, like we were like, okay, that's rinse and repeat. You know, everyone seemed to be happy. Sydney was one of our best shows, and then like. It was like, I mean, I was like, what? Yeah. You know, it was a really, really big shock to the whole team, to be honest. And it didn't make sense because we had 5 shows to go. And
damn. All right, well, exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kylie.
Oh, yeah. Kylie.
So, will you...
Hold on.
Personality change, go.
Oh, my God, hey.
Hey, Kylie, welcome to the show.
Wow, she didn't tell me that I was going to get to talk too.
That's hilarious. I love it.
I love it. Kylie's got like a different accent.
I'm curious because, you speak in like the third person. Do you get into a certain persona? Like, do you feel like it's a character that you step into?
Yeah, it's
like,
so hard.
A separation there?
I was actually talking to you guys before. It's really hard for me, especially when family's around, to just change into Kylie. And if I'm talking to clients and stuff, I'm not nice. And they always want to call me Belinda and stuff like that. I'm like, you don't want to fuck with Belinda. You do not want a piece of Belinda because she might hate fuck you. But you know what I mean? Like, just stick
they might Kylie. Like that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, what do you feel like? You know, boss bitch or Kylie?
There you go.
So yeah, Kylie was created, in 2000. When
Kylie's been around for a while. I thought Kylie So, okay, to everyone who obviously doesn't know who Kylie is, it's your
My
escort
alter ego
persona.
and my stage name.
Yeah.
And then has now become my escort name. Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that you escorted before. I just thought
didn't.
that was like, okay. So that
it's
was just
my
like,
stage
Sexpo's
name.
gone. Let's just fuck it. Put an ad up.
Yeah, basically. I was moonlighting a little bit. Actually, I'll tell you a funny story. I've been friends with Sebastian from Jake Ryan for a long time, and we had a great time together. But I just knew him from the awards to begin with, and I had to save to go to the awards, right? And I thought, and my friend had told me about this brothel. I knew Sebastian worked with girls, but I didn't, I was too busy, right? He was too busy with his show. So I thought, I'll just pop off to to the brothel, this divey place, right? I thought, I'll just say I'm doing research in my mind, you know. I had the best time, right? I'm like, it was a dive, right? But anyway, I wrote notes. I don't know how long I worked there, maybe a month or whatever, and saved a bunch of money. Yeah. Went to the award show. Afterwards, I told Sebastian what I did. He laughed so hard at me, right? He goes, girl, we're going to get you sorted now. And we go private.
Let's go.
But I couldn't, when I was working so hard at Sexpo, I couldn't do both. You know, I couldn't.
Just like time-wise, right?
Just my brain also, you know, I mean, I'm like, what do you find?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, when you got to be perfect.
I'm trying to think about the show. Oh no. Sometimes it was good, you know, and I would sneak out to the country and I'd have a break, and that it's been like 3 years.
Okay. When you said you sneak out to the country and have a break, was that like a break for you?
From Sexpo with Kylie.
Okay. So
yeah,
so it sounds like you really enjoyed being Kylie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy being Kylie.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm like, I feel like a baby hoe, as they call them, you know what I mean? So I'm like, Kylie's like baby hoe, but it's a slow. So Seb's not managing me anymore. He's moved away from the industry a little bit, and I'm managing myself. And it's like, okay, now I'm baby hoe. I'm like, okay,
Yep.
but I'm working my way through. Obviously, I have a lot of great friends in the industry, and I'm not like, I don't know how much people used to make. So I'm like, look. More than I've got in my corporate job. Like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So, and I have more time to spend with my dad. So that was what was, you know, really important.
Facilitates that.
And spending time with him and being able to not worry about money, I guess, and not penny pinch as much. And that was really great. But now I think it's back to 2 jobs probably.
Okay,
I also was working with Lifestyle Getaways, which is the swingers.
I wanted to ask you about this. Yeah, I saw like the hotel takeovers.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff
hotel
like that.
takeovers, man. These guys are amazing. This
What is Lifestyle Getaways?
So it's an award-winning event that they have they do resort takeovers. So they started in Bali, and I met them because I have a lot of swinger friends, and these are a couple. Mm-hmm. Power couple, like
is it the same as Our Secret Spot or different couple?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they do. They only do resort takeovers, and they only do four events a year so far.
Have you been?
No, I just saw it.
Yeah,
And
it's 7 days. I've been doing some social media with them, and I went to the shows, and I was like,
that sounds fun.
That's my
a resort
next step.
takeover swinger party.
Yeah,
so like spring break,
so
but just
much
for
fun. So
horny people.
They did it in Bali for like a year or 2 years, I think, and then they went to Thailand. So I've been to one in Bali.
Sounds crazy.
At Pink Coco, which I'm having my birthday party there. Like, from the 11th to the 19th. Hello, Pink Coco. We're all going to be nude. Yeah, I'm doing the yoga festival first, and then I'm going to swim and hang nude for a week for my birthday in May.
How good.
But yeah, that's where it was, which is just a great, in Uluwatu, great venue. Mm-hmm. Really cool people working there. And Darren and Simone organized 7 days for the event. So you can do things like beach. You don't have to be involved, but I always say, like, get involved. The people are amazing. You know, pool games, nighttime games, fancy dress, out to dinners, like little things that you can do for this whole 7 days.
So much fun. Is that the people that run Red Hot Pie? Have I got the right people or no?
No, but they work with Red Hot Pie.
Right,
Yeah.
cool.
So they're a Red Hot Pie event as well.
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. How much
and they're
fun
actually
is that?
they're sold out until like in November this year. So
Yeah.
because there's only limited rooms. That's what I went to
how
Thailand
many people,
with. Yeah, 26 rooms, so 50 people.
I feel like after having Mistress Eros on like the other week,
how
I feel like
great
I want to come to one of these sex tantra
you
parties
guys have to
or
come.
something.
I love those things.
I know Mark does.
I'm going to go to No, the
Our
Tundra.
secret spot.
No. The one that Mistress Lotus is doing here.
Oh.
It's the 29th.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
It's in Melbourne. So.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I
I was
thought
like.
I was in
I was like. I
Melbourne.
messaged her
Yeah,
the other
exactly.
day.
Yeah,
I forgot I was
She
in
told us
Sydney.
to fly to Brisbane. Or
Yeah,
something for
I
one of
said
the-
to her,
Yeah.
I was like, "Can you just do one in Sydney, like, so that we
She
can come
should,
to
yeah.
it, please?"
Yeah.
I mean, I
They're
would
fun.
fly to it, but
I
like
love
depending on
that
when it is.
stuff.
I think there's one soon. Like I think it's like this weekend.
We were talking
or,
about was it the princess chair or something she called it? Do you remember?
Oh
you
yeah,
sit in the
apparently there's like a
Kat's
throne,
like,
and
"I'm
I was
there."
like,
Learning chair.
I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
stand there and have people like
Yeah.
worship my feet and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
I love those places. I just went to Wet on Wellington.
Yeah.
The first time I've been to the swingers one there because one of the venues closed down. Wet on Wellington has a 25-meter swimming pool in there, a pool table, a cinema room, a spa, a sauna, and then a whole play level up top.
Jesus Christ, decked out.
It's decked out, yeah.
Nice.
It's like amazing and so much fun. Like, yeah, I went there with my friend and I said, I was so bummed I didn't even go in the steam in the sauna. She goes, what? There's a steam in a sauna. Yeah. And so they have them every month. But I've been to the girl party too. That's really fun there. I just love venues. I love being nude.
You just love events.
Yeah.
And you love being
Yeah,
nude.
I do. True. No, totally. I went to the F1. Speaking of events, now that's an event that I got my dick hard for. I was like,
Yeah, was that the one in the Gold Coast?
no, in Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
So F1, the racing, and you
Yeah,
can
I
see
heard
it
that's good
from
for
my-
husband hunting.
It's pretty good, I guess. I walked around on the ground. I mean, you want to be in corporate if you're looking for a husband, my girl. You know what I mean? You don't want to be on the ground. I'm like, I didn't see no husband down here. I'm like, we got to get a little higher. Yeah.
A little higher, like the
Sorry,
corporate
yeah.
Some
boxes.
suits.
Corporate. Yeah, we
Yeah,
need
exactly,
corporate. We
yeah.
need corporate, please. It was huge, massive sold out event. I can see it from the rooftop of my building.
Yeah.
So I get to see it, and of course I'm into events. And I was actually walking around the park because it's in Albert Park, and I started seeing them put the chainmail fence up, and I was like, oh yeah, and then a bunch of other things, and the big generators, which we'd have them at Travis's party, and I was like, oh God, look at their generators.
I love that you're getting turned on by the event. You're
I
like,
know,
damn,
like,
this would have required so much
Exactly.
organizing.
Well, that's
Oh my
exactly.
God.
That's what I thought.
Can you imagine all the
Maybe-
Yeah, all of the
tickets?
manpower
Maybe
to
I'm
bring this
missing it.
generator
Maybe
here.
I really am missing
Sounds
it.
like it, yeah.
So yeah, I'm in July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. I have had 8 months off.
Yeah, you're ready for it.
And,
now.
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like another
a
fair
big
few
dry
months
spell.
until the next one. Now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I'm happy to have
Yeah.
the time off. You know.
Yeah, just being
I'm
Kylie.
being Kylie.
Yeah.
You.
Enjoy
I'm
it
being
because
more
when-
Kylie, like shooting for my OnlyFans.
she does
Oh,
OnlyFans.
okay.
It's
OnlyFans,
really
yeah.
hard for me, you guys. So I can't shoot Belinda sex really. You know what I mean? Like I never did open leg in the States. I did softcore movies. So
What is
that's
a
like-
soft core?
So there's no
Movie.
penetration. It's just nudity. It's like fake sex. It's like,
Like with clothes on,
no, with no clothes on. So nudity, just
but not actually fucking.
not penetration.
But it is.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Do you
kissing.
know when we're younger, and this maybe this is just a me thing. Do you know when we're younger and at like 1 a.m. you hit one of the channels
Yeah,
and free
that's
to air,
it.
and it's some like European.
it.
There's subtitles and they're like a little bit naked. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
it's erotica. It's called
I don't-
erotica.
But so you're simulating sex, but not
Yeah.
having.
Oh, Kat's brain is like, so you don't have a penis inside of you. What's the
Yeah,
point?
but if it looks like there's
Exactly.
a penis inside, that's the point that I don't get. Like if it looks
If you're
like
already
it's-
there, why not just do it?
Well,
They don't have to film it. Just
Some of the
if it's
positions are
bare
pretty
dick
crazy
rubbing-
for people to believe. Let me tell you.
If,
I'm
if
like,
if I've got bare dick rubbing against my clit,
That's actual sex. Like that's his belly button. I'm
Yeah,
trying to fuck
that's-
that. Like really?
this angle doesn't work.
why? What is the point of it? Are people getting
'Cause
off to
I
this?
wasn't a porn star. I just didn't have a. I just didn't want to open leg. I wasn't.
You didn't
an
want
escort.
P
Yeah, I
and
just
D.
didn't do it. Yeah.
P and V.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your just brain just penis dicks just.
But I was an actress, and I was like, oh, I don't care about being nude. Sure, let's go.
Yeah.
So
You were an actress.
Yeah.
In what?
Mostly those movies. then.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
exactly.
right. So you
I
never did
studied-
like actual.
Yeah, I did a bunch
Porn.
of movies. No, never did.
Yeah,
actual
or only
porn.
soft porn.
Only since my OnlyFans have I actually done. That's the only place really you can find XXX.
Well, I feel would soft porn even be a thing now, or is that like a an
They
old
still- I
school
think
thing?
I don't know. I mean, even when I was in the industry, because at the time I was producing with Wicked Pictures, which is a huge porn company in the States, and I I was the production manager, so I was the boss bitch, Belinda.
Okay.
And then they would have a scene the next day with me on Kylie because, there was so little actors that would be nude that they'd use porn stars. And then porn started shooting softcore and then hardcore. So then they were already associating porn stars with it, you know what I mean?
So it was a
But it used to be, like you said, the whole channel, like in Vegas, there's a whole Skinemax. Cinemax it was called, you know what I mean? So it was movies for that.
So
and
are you
DVDs.
American?
No, Australian. But I just lived in the States for 25 years.
I was
Your
gonna say,
accent kind of... It's funny,
now
when
it
you're
does.
Kylie, it feels like it's a stronger American
Totally
accent.
American.
Yeah.
Kylie's
And
totally
then-
American.
And then I hear the Australian pop in and out sometimes. Yeah.
Belinda's whatever these days.
Yeah.
I don't even know what comes out as.
Yeah, it's like a half American, half
Yeah.
Australian accent.
Yeah.
So when did you move to the States then? Was it when you were very young?
Yeah.
What? There's some conspiracy about this?
No, it was like I moved there in 1992 in the riots. So I've said this story so many times, but
In
it
the
just tells-
riots?
yeah, in the Los Angeles riots.
I feel like I wasn't even
But
born
it
then.
gives
then,
away
so
my
it's-
age. So I'm always like, wow,
Oh, okay, okay.
So, but you
I
can
thought,
Google
did
my
you sneak
age
into
and
America
stuff.
without anyone knowing or something? It looked like you were like...
Probably could back then.
Yeah, you could. You
My
got away
dad
with a lot more
basically
stuff.
snuck into Australia because you kind of could back
Yeah,
then.
sure,
And obviously he's like married now and has his citizenship, but back then there was not really
After
paperwork.
9/11. Yeah, it was
changed,
nothing happened.
yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't get away with it.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. So you were mostly like that. You saw yourself as an actress, right? Like you got into
I moved
that.
to the States, studied
to do-
acting
yeah.
at Lee Strasberg. I had like 3 modeling visas. That's how I stayed there.
Okay.
So that was like 3 years each. So I stayed that long. Got married twice.
What?
Yeah, 3 times I've been married actually.
Are you married currently?
No, divorced.
Oh my
but
God.
happy
Are
to
you
get
looking
married
for
again.
a yeah, I was about to ask, yeah.
Not afraid of it.
God, I
Corporate
can't-
box though.
I can't even
corporate box.
find one husband.
Got
It's 'cause
boundaries now.
You're stealing all the husbands. That's why I'm still single.
It would have to be something special, but you know what I mean? Right at this moment in time, I could not fathom having a relationship. My dad is my main man.
That's sweet.
And I have so much fun. I have so many relationships, taboo ones too. No,
Tell us more.
That you know what I mean? I'm having so much fun that it's.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
I'm in a slaying session, as I would call it.
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
That's fair.
Sometimes you're a slayer. Sometimes you're
It's
not.
true. And
mode.
having
Yeah.
a boyfriend, it does hold you back.
Totally.
It does
does.
hold you back from slaying, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does.
From
Did you
definitely
feel
slaying.
like did you notice that? Like, did you feel held down in your marriages where you're like, look, I just want to get out there and like have some
Unfortunately,
fun?
I was going to answer that real quickly. Never, saying never. Yeah, I probably was. As I thought about it,
Yeah.
I would just be like, done, click, off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for the first 2, to be honest, I had to get married because I wanted to stay in the country. Yeah.
Visas,
So
yeah.
the first one didn't work out.
Oh, so the first one was to an American?
Yep, both of them were.
Oh, that's smart.
And was that kind of
Should have done it like 25 years ago.
I'm looking. Anyone wants to? Any American listening
There
that
you
wants to
go.
get married, hit me up, please.
great idea.
I want that American passport, please. Seriously.
So do you have
Exactly.
like citizenship there?
Yeah. So do you
or-
still have the?
No. So the problem was that when I left, I married an Australian then, which didn't help me. But it got
Silly.
me home. Yeah, it was like, but it got me home, and then my mum passed away. So I was like, okay,
sorry
it was a
to
good
hear that,
idea.
yeah.
And then I've been here and look at what's happened. I tried to go back to the States in 2016.
It's so hard.
And yeah, I got turned around. But
Yeah.
previous to
You
that,
got turned around. 'cause
yeah,
you
that's a whole
work.
nother Oprah story.
Oh my God, no!
Hang
Yes,
on,
tell
now
us.
we want to know.
So
Yeah. So you were deported from
no.
the States.
So I was just going on a tourist visa. I was going because I had to renounce my visa because you have to stay 30 months in the States and 30 months in Australia. You have to split the time to keep the visa. That's the conditions of the visa. And I wasn't going back to stay for another 60 months.
Oh,
So
okay.
I just thought, I'll just let that go. One time when I was trying to travel, long story short, I got stopped and I had to renounce the visa while I was 4 hours in with immigration. Yeah, believe me, I have some immigration
What?
stories. So I had to go, no, I don't want that green card. I'll just stick on the tourist visa that I'm
Yeah.
on. Sorry, I made a mistake. I didn't tell you that I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But this time I was.
They're so strict.
It's so crazy. I mean, I could tell you so many stories about customs. It's ridiculous. But this time I was going back from my friend's wedding, to be honest, in Aspen, Colorado. But I did have a 3-month ticket booked, but I had a return ticket. And funnily enough, out of the 25 years that I went there, I had $2,000 cash on me and about another 3 or 4 in the bank because I was going for 3 months. Yeah. My brother lives there. I don't need any more money. It's the most money I've ever traveled on. I've traveled on $20 before to the States. Yeah. So I got pulled over. I was almost out, and I was calling my best friend, going, I'm almost out. I can't believe how fast. And the guy goes, I had 4 bags. And the guy goes, oh, why have you got so many bags? What are you doing?
I'm a woman.
I'm like, I'm going to Aspen to go
this is just
for 3
this
months.
bag. This is just my hair products.
Yeah, exactly.
This one just makeup.
The problem was that was a lie. So I think probably the first thing that they saw was I was going back, and I wasn't going to stay there.
Sorry, you were going back there to do some actressing work at that point?
No, I was just going back for Christmas, but I was already started on another visa, and I didn't want to take up the time with 3 months over Christmas, you know, because it only has a limited timing. So I was going to just go for a holiday, then come back, then go on my visa.
I get you. Okay, that makes sense.
So I thought I'll just go.
You didn't want to waste
nobody
your visa
happens
time.
in the industry for that 3 months. So I'm like, I'll just go to Aspen, hang out, go hang out with my brother in LA, come back to Australia, finish my visa off, which was an acting visa, which was I'd worked, you know, like 20 years to try to get. Yeah. And that didn't happen. Let's say that didn't happen.
Look, the USA, it's just really, it's hard. Like, you just need to marry someone, really.
Yeah, I mean, which I did, and that worked. You know what I mean?
Well, no, that would work. Yeah,
it worked. But
the only one that does work. Yeah.
Yeah. It is. You know, if they say that I was in LA in the heyday, it is different now, and there's a lot of different. You know, they're so, you know, online and stuff like that, that if they want you, they'll pay for your visa. You know what I mean?
They'll figure it out.
They can do it. Yeah. They help you. You know what I mean? Like that's the agencies that sponsored me. That's how I got my visa then. Yeah. But essentially, you're supposed to work for them, and I mean, I was working for whoever paid me.
Yeah,
you know?
Legit. Yeah.
I'll take your money. I'm not going to give it to my agent. I'm not giving it. I got it.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So scary going. Last time they stopped me for I don't know.
You've been stopped a few times traveling, haven't you?
I look dodgy apparently, but they.
It's because you're
the worst
bolding.
part is it's the hat. The
well,
worst
you weren't
part
bolding
is
then.
they stopped me and they were like.
What's
they're looking through my
rope.
So they're looking through my travel history, and they're like, how long were you here last year, and what were you here for? And I'm like, I travel so much. Like I'm in Europe, America, somewhere different. I'm like, I don't know. So I was like, Miami. I was in Miami for 2. He goes, no, you're in New York, and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, maybe the year before was Miami, and he's like, for how long? And I'm like, a month? He's like, no, 3 months.
Lesson, everyone. You got to write your shit down.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I used to carry a list with me. Yeah. Because for that exact reason. I was like, nope, here's my list. There you go. Yeah. So it matched with what they
said. So I had a friend that got stopped once. And so that's the thing is, if you can't answer one of their questions, even if it's something basic, you get pulled into the little room just because.
Secondary. Once you go to secondary, then third. Yeah. There's more. Yeah.
It's great. They're sitting me down and asking me those questions. I'm like, bro, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm like, do you really expect me to know this shit? And then they were so aggressive. But the minute they kind of realized that, like, oh, okay, it doesn't look like he's trying to stay here and live and work and stuff. They were like, everything, the mood just changed. Yeah, right. Because I felt I was getting fucking interrogated. Yeah. And then he goes, oh, yeah, all good, blah, blah. And I'm like, motherfucker, who's this energy?
What did they think you were doing? Like, did they think you were trying to stay there illegally?
I think
they think you're trying to sneak into the country and stay there.
Yeah, and because...
They think you just won't go home.
Yeah, exactly.
What, really?
Yeah, but a lot of people do it.
And I'm like, bro, but look, I've been here the last 5 years. I've left every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
I'm like, I don't like it here, to be honest.
No, I don't. Trust me, I don't want to live in your shitty country.
The thing is, if you like work for a company that is Australian, you know what I mean, and then they're like, oh yeah, okay, they have to go back. So there is a visa that you can get that I would suggest if you're going to go to like AVNs and things like that to get that visa. You know what I mean? Because it's a conference visa. It's an expo visa.
Oh, so is there a conference?
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing that you need to do.
I need that.
It's much easier because then I'm going to a conference. Yeah. And that's the conference that you're going to.
And then
you can show them your ticket if you know.
I'm going to look this up after the podcast.
And just time it.
Because I'm going back in end of May or June. And I'm already like, fuck, they better
I
not
think
send me
there's
around.
probably conferences and festivals
Absolutely.
and things.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
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 All right.
yeah.
Good idea. I'll look into it.
Do you need to do anything special to get this conference visa, or is it kind
You
of
just
just
have
like
to have a ticket.
Yeah.
Or if you're like speaking or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're allowed to go to a conference, you know what I mean? Like as
Yeah.
part of
Your
self-help
employment,
even. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Cool. I'll
Exactly.
look into that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
Because I had a friend who...
there's plenty of ways to skin a cat.
Because I got a friend from Hong Kong, and he just this year, I think it was, he tried getting into America, and they were like, they wanted to look through his phone. They're like, "Have you done
Yeah.
anything illegal?"
did
And
they
he's
let
like-
him?
He's like,
I mean,
"No."
did they force him to?
He's like, "Well, if you don't, they kick
They
you out
looked
anyway."
through my phone.
Yeah.
And I had a burner phone
Can
in
you
my
say
bag.
no to that? Can you say no?
Well, you can say
Yeah,
no, but they'll just kick you out then.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's fine. Kick me out.
Yeah.
But
Like-
I don't want to get kicked out. I want
Yeah,
to say.
okay. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, I need a second phone.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Exactly.
I
Like-
always take, whenever I go to the
know.
States, I always just move my SIM card into a dummy phone that's got
Exactly.
nothing on it.
Yeah, that's what we
And
have.
then
that's as sex workers what we
Yeah.
have to do because
so just
I don't
take-
know
I'm
if
learning
you guys know
everything
what's
now.
going on in the States, but
Yeah, and then my thing is like, if they're like, "Oh, why do you have a brand new phone?" I'll just say, "I never take my actual phone traveling because it always gets stolen."
yeah, exactly.
Okay, step
Yeah.
one, conference. Step two, burn a phone.
Yeah,
All I'm
always
learning
a
that.
And you
burner
know what?
phone.
I'd never say this because I am such a truthful person, but you have to lie. Like I got
Yeah.
pulled over because I told them. They said, "When was the last time you smoked pot?" And I was like, "Well, probably the last time I was in Colorado." So I broke a federal law. And when you sign the visa waiver, this is important too. When you sign the visa waiver, you tick that you've not broken a federal law in your country or in theirs.
Yeah.
This is
that's
exactly
a
what happened to my mate.
Yeah.
Because he said I smoked weed it was legal in the
Amsterdam,
States.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
it was legal in the American
exactly.
state.
It's a federal
I think it was-
offense, though.
But federally...
And if you tick the visa waiver, you
and I
broke
was
the
like,
visa waiver agreement.
Yep. And so he's like, yeah, you broke your visa. You can't.
It's
And I
a
was
trick
like,
question.
Yeah, it is.
It's a trick question
I've
because
never been
you
asked
guys-
if I smoke
I
pot.
flirted with the guy so much
Nice.
that that was going through my bag. I was sweating. I'm like, what are you, like, he was that hot. And then he let me go through, but then I got to the next level. And then like a couple of days later, he goes, "Where are we going to go training? I thought you were going to train me." I'm like, "Bitch, you were the one that fucking sent me home. Like, what's going on
Or
here?"
he
Twilight
turned you
Zone.
back and then... you got for a date.
Basically, he sent me to secondary.
Oh,
He
damn.
was like, you don't have enough money to travel and you smoked weed. I told him a bunch of things like an idiot.
Jesus.
Just don't say anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
then I had
it's-
to go to the next level and talk about it. And I was backpedaling and go, they said, "Well, what does that mean? You lied to him down there?" But he said that,
He's trying to be cool. He was cute.
Oh, this happened to one of my friends recently. She was, I don't know, going into which country. And yeah, they asked her a bunch of questions and she answered it kind of trying to be cute,
Yeah.
like a smartass, and they were not having a bar of
No.
it. And then they went and they took her into the room and searched her just because they didn't like that she was
Exactly.
trying to be coy and cute and
Exactly.
fun with her
Do
answers.
do not have an attitude.
Yeah, no, do not have a
any-
personality.
Do not
Be
have
a
a
No
personality.
Kylie when you're
No.
going through.
No,
I'm
Kylie
just so
is like
grateful.
kicked out the door.
I make myself look
exactly.
like I'm 10 years old when I go. I'm wearing my
Like this.
I'm wearing my university hoodie. I've got a scrunchie on, my glasses on. I'm carrying like a textbook and shit. Like I literally just look like a kid that's like on her uni break,
Cosplaying
coming for
college
spring
girl.
break. Yeah.
You know, on that note, it's kind of sad that as I guess maybe is it hot women, sex workers, or what that we actually have to hide, and that was what I was talking about before, being your bright light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why do we have to do that?
Oh yeah, I don't show no tits, no nails,
Yeah.
no eye makeup, no hair extensions, like all like in a bun.
Well, yeah, it feels
Baby
like
face.
America's trying to like
Well, 'cause
go
they
back to
profile
the
you.
past right
So
now.
They
is what it
profile
feels
you. Like, I've heard girls getting stopped just because they had like their fake lashes on with their nails and their like Louis Vuitton bag and everything like that, and they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
And then they'll put on their whatever, like, oh, what do you do for work? And they're like, oh, I'm a nail technician, but they've got like $50,000 worth of jewelry on, and they're like,
yeah,
obviously
that's-
customs is going to be like, well, no nail
Dodge.
tech has that kind of money.
Yeah,
No nail
dodgy.
tech wearing Van Cleef around here.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, yeah. So that's what you got to do. You got to like make it look like you're wearing Kmart clothes.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah, it's
Unless you're Angela White in first class. Love her.
there you go.
She's beautiful on the plane. Like I loved when she's traveled. She's like always so like, just
Got it.
perfect. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about, because I read you did rodeo.
Yes.
I
It's
want
always so amazing to people. This
to
part.
hear about this because, like, when I ever think of like rodeo, I always imagine like a guy doing it, for example, and like that's the image I have in my head. So when I picture a woman that got into like modeling and then, you know, porn and all things like this, the first thing I don't picture is on a ball.
Yeah.
So how did this start, or where did that come from?
I have a rodeo championship belt buckle, and I rodeoed for about 4 years, on and off when I lived in the States. When I came back in 2000, which is kind of when I started doing the softcore movies, I knew I needed horses in my life. A friend of mine rode horses. He was the spin instructor, my gay friend. He said, come out riding. I went out riding. He goes, oh my God, girl, you need to compete with us. I was like, okay, cool. So I rode with the Gay Rodeo Association.
With the Gay Rodeo Association.
The only difference is that men and women ride the same events.
Oh, okay, right.
And on the rough stock, which is steers and bulls and broncs, it's only 6 seconds instead of 8 seconds.
Okay.
But it's, there are female bull riding associations, especially in the States, obviously. It's
so
huge.
rodeo, is that, so that's you do bull riding?
Yeah, so
Did you ever get hurt?
Touch wood. I mean, I didn't
like
get
on a
hurt.
real bull?
Yeah.
I've done the mechanical ones, and that's tricky.
Yeah, it's hard. The mechanical's hard because it's not a real animal, you know, and someone going
Well,
like
the
that.
real animal's easier? Surely
The
not.
only thing is this thing doesn't chase after you. Yeah.
I was going to say,
the
the real animal,
mechanical one
like,
doesn't
they
come after
step
you.
on you, don't they?
Yeah,
back
step
on
on
the
you.
mechanical one,
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so it
Oh my God.
he was riding steers. It started with the steers.
Do you have to train?
Yeah, well, he said to me, I said, well, we're going to... So I rode horses since I was 5, and I have what's called a seat, like meaning I can hold on with to my seat, because when you ride, you've got to stay stuck to the saddle. So long story short, I started on the steers. He got me on there. I became a steer riding champion. And then, of course, you want to ride bulls.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Yeah.
Next step is bulls. So I started riding some bulls, and it was really hard. And I did get a bit hurt. I had pins and needles. I had a helmet. My helmet went like that. My helmet came off, and I had pins and needles for 6 months.
Jesus.
So I thought, oh, fuck that. But I still wanted a buckle so bad that one year they gave me accidentally a bull riding buckle. And they didn't have a steer riding buckle at champ finals, And I was like, oh, don't worry, I'll keep this one.
Yep.
And then I felt guilty. I wore it around, and I was like, yeah, I'm a bull rider. And then I was steer riding champion, but not a bull
What's a
riding
steer?
champion. A steer is a bull that's castrated. So I've had their balls cut off.
But why is that
It's
different?
like not as aggressive.
Smaller.
Is it? Yeah.
They're squirrelier, but smaller.
Oh, and like
Low
just
testosterone bulls.
Right.
No,
Oh,
less
so
testosterone.
feminine.
Don't chase after you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they'll just buck and then off they go.
Ah.
So I thought, and at the weakest time of my whole life, to be honest, I was going through a breakup with the second husband, and
Second visa rip.
yeah, exactly. I was like, shit. No, I'd already got my green card by then. Well,
okay, right.
you know, my status, so to
yeah.
speak. I thought, I've got to. I was still rodeoing. Rodeoing was my outlet. You know, I was a pretty girl, and then I'd go rodeo, and I'd turn up with bruises. They'd used to cover my tattoos, so I'd be like, "You may cover these bruises, too. You better cover those up. They're not gonna like those." But it was amazing, and we'd do a lot of things during the day. It was, weekend of rodeoing. But one time when I was going through divorce, the stock contractor, that's the guy that owns the stock, he said to me, "If you're going to ride the steers this year, you may as well ride the bulls." I was like,
why did he say that?
Because he just knew the animals, like they were good animals to ride, meaning that they
were pretty similar, is basically what he was saying.
Well, they were good size.
Yeah.
And not killer bulls.
Okay, I get you. Okay.
And not too big where it's just the Brahmas that had the thing. It's like, So I just took his advice, and I rode that year. And he was a stock contractor for most of the things. Yeah. So I had to qualify to get into the finals. And I manifested that I was going to win everything. No one else would cover. And I did it all. And it's actually on YouTube.
Oh,
it's
is it? Can we see it?
6 seconds, That's 6 seconds
cool.
on my YouTube.
Can you send it to us?
You can't see it. It's like, so it's probably 2005, I guess, maybe. Yeah. And it's like with someone's video camera. But it's my last ride. And I win the championship. 12 seconds and $3,000.
Do you reckon that makes you? Do you reckon that makes you like
does it
better
make
in
you
the
good
bedroom?
Are you like good at riding?
Exactly.
It would, 'cause
I wanted to ask it, but I was like, I don't know.
My
if
favorite
I should.
position is cowgirl
There you
and
go.
reverse cowgirl.
Oh, I can imagine.
There you go.
Because you do need a lot of like lower body strength for like that. Guys say we have it easy in the bedroom. Like sometimes we don't. It's a lot of work.
Sometimes
Squatting thing is like a lot of work.
Essentially, sucking dick is a lot of work. You got to like plank basically for ages.
The whole time. If I'm not working up a sweat, I don't think it's good.
Girls being on top is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like my legs, oh my goodness.
Do you ever wear like a cowboy hat and like
Yeah, I do have a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
My brother just gave me, I'm pretty prone to a cowboy hat.
Yeah, there you go.
I've got a pretty good one right now.
Yeah.
But I've always had a cowboy hat, yeah.
Awesome.
I've got a lot of belt buckles and I miss riding. It's like something that's grounding to me.
Yeah.
And with like it's being alone but with an animal, it's different. It's like, yeah.
Actually, talking about animals, I did see your story. Was it this morning?
Oh,
I think I looked
yeah.
at it, with the kangaroo. Sorry to bring up a sad topic. I know.
I'm going to cry.
I missed this. What is it?
There was a kangaroo. I don't know why I brought this up. You said animals and it just popped in my head.
Was it in the way of the
It
car?
was in the way
Actually,
of the car.
put the silver lining on it because it was really
Did
great
it hurt your
realizing that some people still care enough. It was a kangaroo. I didn't realize at the time, but there was a woman that was just sitting there. I thought she was with a kid. I went to the toilet and came back out and she was with a kangaroo. I said, do you need some water or something? She goes, no, she'd been sitting there for ages waiting for the police to euthanize the animal. It was a big kangaroo too. Yeah. And, when it's big like that, it's quite confronting. It's like, can I do anything? Yeah. She's like, no, but we're just waiting for them to basically shoot it. I was like, oh my God.
And most people don't know, like if you're not Australian, like if you hit a kangaroo, it does more damage to your car usually.
It must have been, I don't know who had hit it, but I didn't see it and she had the whole thing covered up, which was so, she had a volunteer's shirt on. She said she'd dealt with 400 animals in her time.
Wow.
I was like, and she was like, it's starting to get to me. And I was like,
I can imagine.
So sad.
Yeah,
that's why I could never be like a vet or something like that.
Oh,
it was horrific.
Animals dying.
A doctor, I mean, I couldn't. Yeah, they amaze me. That's my favorite show, 911. Seeing, what is it called here? Emergency. Seeing what they can put how they put the body back together. Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, yeah, I used to be a pediatric nurse, but I just I couldn't do animals.
Pediatric? Isn't that kids?
Yeah.
But I could not do animals though.
Why am I only hearing this now? I never knew you were.
Yeah, I was a pediatric clinical nurse specialist.
Wow.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were ER.
In emergency, looking after kids. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about adults. I didn't know what was
emergency would be.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I think like mentally crazy.
Very mentally crazy. But
I could never. Like I had for everyone wondering what this thing on my arm is like I had my contraceptive rod changed and like he was like, he pulls it out and he's like, do you want to see it? I was like, no. I was like, absolutely not. I made my mum came over this morning and I made her change my bandage and clean it. I was like, Mum, I can't look. To be honest, I ended up looking and the cut
it's like a little paper cut. Exactly. Like, oh my God,
microscopic little cut.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm the total opposite.
I know. Yeah. I don't even need this bandage
open so that I can,
have a look.
I'll scale them. I'll clean the fish. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty much a tomboy, so. Yeah, changing into Kylie sometimes takes a little work. I'm
exactly. Yeah.
Feminine.
When did
exactly.
you create?
Where is that feminine? Totally.
When did
That's
you
why
first?
I have long hair. It's like.
When did you first create Kylie? Because you said it wasn't for like the escorting part.
2000. Right? No. I hung out with a bunch of hookers in LA, but I was not for sale.
Yeah.
I know. They were making a mint. I mean, and they were fun.
In America, they were
fun girls, but it was.
You do there. That's why I would love my American passport. I would love to work in America. You make big bucks there.
Yeah.
With Heidi Fleiss. I knew all the Heidi Fleiss girls. Mm-hmm. They were fun, yeah.
And so when you say you created it, like, what was that?
Well, I was doing the softcore movies.
So it was for the movies.
It was for the movies. In 2000, I was working with a French company actually, and a friend of mine, she said, well, if you help me with production, I'll put you in the movie. I was like, okay, so what do I need to do? So I did the casting and helped her produce.
Oh, wow.
And then, so I was in 2 movies and they were the first movies that I did, which were French movies. It was easy.
Have you had any issues with being Belinda and Kylie like simultaneously and like people knowing this? Because, like, I mean, with me, like, well, KATIJA is not my real name. Like, no one really knows what my real name is.
It's been, like, I guess it's been Belinda and Kylie. So if you Googled some of the movies that I did, both names will come up. So I've had stalkers before, as like in the States, but I haven't had any trouble per se. And I'm quite open for it, but it is scary at times, but I feel like it's already done. You know what I mean? Like it's already...
Yeah, you can't go back
out.
now.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. You know what I mean? And I'm not... That's why it's kind of scary, even today, you know, talking about both of them together and you know, saying it in the open. But I don't want to hide, and I want to be out in the open, and I want Kylie to be able to, you know, be able to be out. And sometimes she's not, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you go on tour and you have to hide the fact that people are coming over, and I guess that's okay for some people, but I can see sometimes people's looks, and it's like, dude, you obviously didn't get laid, so we're happy. We're all right over here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just mind your own business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a new world for me as well. Because as Belinda, I'm always like, well, fuck you, and da da da. But I can't always be like that as Kylie. I have to be nice and considerate, and feminine.
I just love that whole concept. Like, there's actually a book called The Alter Ego Effect. And
Oh.
Yeah.
there's a sports coach that teaches athletes how to create like an alter ego to be able to like meet
excel.
those needs.
And because it's not themselves.
Yeah.
So that was, I guess, part of I could be Kylie and Belinda
I want this
wouldn't get in the
book.
way.
I'll send it.
Yes, please.
Yeah. It was easier to be a character always.
100%.
And I am actually a Taurus the bull on the cusp of Gemini. So actually I was thinking today, because I was like, oh, I'm going to wear 2 different earrings. I'm like, oh, I am such a dual personality. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I can
Very
be 2
Gemini.
different,
Yeah.
very Taurus-y end of Gemini.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's interesting as well. Like, I mean, I found that I even struggle with that a little bit as well. Because, like, I mean, me, the real me, is like, I'm a little bit of a tomboy.
Yeah, same.
Which people would probably find that hard to believe, but I am.
Yeah.
But obviously, KATIJA, like, is not a tomboy.
No.
Like, she's a girly girl kind of thing, which I'm not really. But I find it hard with clients to, like, not act like a tomboy, like, not act like a bro sometimes. Because I am. I'm like one of the boys. I'm like a bro.
You
Exactly.
finish having sex, you're like, well done, team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but my clients don't want a bro. They're not paying $1,000 an hour for a bro, right? They're not. I mean, to be honest, some of them do probably, but you know, they want a nice little girl, and I've got to try to like remember to like
Exactly.
not be
I'm like
a boy's girl.
I actually used to listen to this amazing. I know she's a sex therapist and relationship coach, Rory Ray, and she tells you things to be soft, like if you're don't be a cactus. Firstly, you know what I mean.
Yep.
Think about and if you're having trouble being a cactus, because when we're with people, we can be snappy and we can be, and feeling is a good one. So touch your dress and get into the
like
feeling
that,
of your
yeah.
dress. So it takes you way out of your head. You know what I mean? Or touch the napkin and think about the napkin while someone's sitting there berating you or, you know, saying stuff that you don't want to hear. You know what I mean? But just to keep you in your own
It's like
space.
centers you a little bit.
Yeah. And, okay, I'm not even thinking about what they're saying. Or look at the pretty lights, or look at the pretty butterflies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like
the
that.
pretty flowers. I'm always like, oh, that's a nice couch.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, like,
Yeah.
oh, I wonder what color that is on the walls.
Yeah.
To just
100%.
kind of bring you back into reality and not be like, oh God, I'm so bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
What am I going to say next? I don't know.
I think that's
How
really
much am I
good,
getting paid? When am I getting out here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's really good for anxiety. Like I coach a lot of guys in terms of like dating as well, and it
Yeah.
can be intimidating. And so that as well, just like senses, focusing
Exactly.
on those. What can I hear? What can I see? And
Yeah,
it just brings
exactly.
them back
How's
into
the weather?
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, how's the weather?
You feel a breeze. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
just getting really, I guess, textural is really something that helps, I think,
Nice.
especially with anxiety.
Yeah. All right, so moving forward, this year we have potentially Sexpo version 2 coming up.
Yeah, Sexpo
Potentially.
V2.
But what else is on the horizon for you? Have you got anything
So,
planned?
wedding here in Sydney, then back through Canberra and back to Melbourne. I feel like I've been traveling a lot. It was my dad's 80th also
Oh, wow.
last month. And so I was on the Gold Coast for 2 weeks, which is kind of a long time for me to be there.
Yeah.
But it was great. My brother was here. So after May, I was kind of going to think about what the next step is. This show has kind of really
Changed
helped
things.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
helped me kind of decide. But yeah, it's Kylie for the year. I'm committing to Kylie.
All right, done.
And having fun there. It's always been, like I always have this sex ed thing that I've wanted to do with autistic people. And I think the finances with, not just girls, but with everybody in the industry is a passion of mine. And so I'm going to go those and explore those things. I've just done the second level of a theta healing course.
What's theta healing? Sorry?
It's like woo-woo healing, like spiritual healing. Yeah, like
woo-woo.
dealing with your chakras, calling on the creator above to like center you and help you, stay clear, remove blockages and all kinds of things like that. So you can do healings on others and you can do healings on yourself.
Cool.
So it's really kind of getting back in touch with my spirituality as well.
Nice.
Which I've missed because I was working so hard. So going back to the gym, going to yoga festival, relaxing in Bali, and then the next half of the year.
Yeah.
The next half of the year, which I'm excited for and I'm kind of working on right now.
Okay, before we wrap up, sorry, I have to ask. You said people with autism, you're working on what with them?
Yeah, so sex education.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine has an autistic 25-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's been 4 years that, she doesn't talk. Anyway, she's the inspiration behind, she was like, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We need help with all of this.
Yeah.
And she's doing a lot of great projects, so I'll be tacking on sex ed there.
That's
and hopefully
cool.
it'll be able to be online or something people can do in their own home. I love the show, On the Spectrum. It's my favorite show.
One of my favorite.
Oh my
I love
God.
it. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with all of them. I worked with disabled kids as a kid. It's really something that I might give back, I guess. I just love, I have a few friends. I have a friend of mine that's 65, I think, and a virgin.
Damn. Rip.
He needs to hire an escort.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
true.
he doesn't. It's a long story. He's got the thing. He wants to be in love with her, I guess. So,
Well,
Yeah,
a lot
I'd
of
love
people,
to-
a lot of people do have that. Like a lot of girls had that when I was growing up. Is that they want a boyfriend that they love to
Yeah.
lose it
Yeah.
to, and then it doesn't happen, and then they fuck a random guy at a party in the bushes, and then they fall in love with him.
Yeah,
And he's like, "What? Who are you?" Like, I'm like, "Well, we made love last week at whatever
Exactly,
party," and he's like,
exactly,
"What?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
there. Oh, okay."
I thought we were getting married.
Yeah,
And
that's a true story that happened to one of my friends. Yeah, so.
And my friend's daughter, she had a boyfriend, and I saw them and the dynamics, and I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, it's always been my passion project to do something like that. With sex education's always been my
I'd love
big
to.
thing.
I'd love to hear more about it another time before that goes ahead. it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
interesting.
We'll have to
We'll
catch
have to
up.
bring you back
We'll
on
catch up in 3
after.
months.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Then we can talk about it all.
Yes,
Yeah.
when things are a little bit more locked in, you have
Yeah.
to come back and
Absolutely, I'd love
drop
that.
some tea.
Dates.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And
Exciting.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Where
Yeah,
can people
thank you
find
guys.
Yeah.
both of you?
Oh,
Yeah, do you have websites?
Belinda, Instagram.
Yep.
Belinda_Gavin, and then Kylie's Kylie Wyote 2025.
Sweet.
KylieWyote.com XXX. No, KylieWyoteXXX.com.
We'll put their links down.
Yeah.
below.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
put them all in
We'll put 'em
somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Awesome.
I'm around.
Awesome. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you
for coming.
guys
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for
Cheers.
listening.